Hey guys, Mike here from Sell Your Service. Basically, there's been a few posts and stuff and comments, and I've had a few emails about like how much can I charge because I've only been doing this for so long, or I'm new to this. I haven't been building marketing funnels that long, or I've been doing this for 20 years and we've got all this experience and I've had businesses, all this kind of stuff. And I think it's important that we know the age of your business, the time that you've been on the market, and the number of customers you have does not affect your price. Now, this goes both ways, okay? This means that you can't increase your price just because you've got more customers and the age of your business is higher. You also can't decrease your price. Or you shouldn't stick to a low price. Now, predominantly, I'm actually talking mainly about people who are at the lower end. If you've got 100 customers and you're at capacity, you can absolutely increase your price because of a capacity problem. Okay, that's not what we're talking about here. What happens is that people get really, really wound up with the idea that they need to spend, they need to be asking customers for $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 or however big your number is, and we give ourselves all these kinds of excuses as to why we shouldn't do this, why we shouldn't, right? Why I shouldn't charge that much, why it's wrong for me to charge that much. And if you're already thinking that, if you're already thinking, I can't charge this much, it's cheeky to ask for this much money, then your customers are never going to answer, they're never going to be happy paying that, okay? You have to be confident that the only thing that should affect your price is what you are delivering and the position of your product in the sales funnel, okay? We'll come on to that in a bit later. Your services are in demand, people need them, and you owe it to yourself to be profitable. And that's ultimately what we're talking about today, is how to make sure that you stay profitable. The first objection that people come up against when they think about themselves, and I say, look, you should be charging 10 grand a month for this, or 20 grand for the product, or $1,000 or $19 or whatever it is, and people will say that it's cheeky to ask for that much money, and we'll think, oh my God, I couldn't look at them that much. Now, part of that is because you're not willing to spend that kind of money, and you have to really ask yourself, if you're not willing to spend that kind of money, would someone else be? Okay, if you're not, it's going to be really hard to convince someone else to. Okay, big mindset shift is, if you truly believe that your product can deliver over $10,000 worth of value or over $100,000 worth of value, why wouldn't you buy it? And if you're not going to buy it, good luck getting anyone else to. I remember when someone told me that I needed to charge 10 grand for a website, and not even a fancy one, right? Just a standard web WordPress one. And I was like, no way in the world is anyone ever going to spend 10 grand on one of my sites, particularly as I felt I'd only been doing it for a couple of years. And I had colleagues and people in competition and peers and stuff who were doing it a lot longer than me. And this is, you'll see where we're going with this. People have been doing it a lot longer than me, and they were openly charging $2,000 to $3,000. And I was terrified of being asked, like, well, why should I spend 10 grand on your website when your competition will only do it for 3 grand? And we have loads of excuses as to why we shouldn't charge so much. And I'm going to cover those now. And the big one, as I mentioned earlier, is our competition, our peers, even friends and people that we look up to and colleagues and peers. They'll say, you shouldn't charge that much. And the reason they say you shouldn't charge that much is because they don't want to charge that much. And the reason they don't want to charge that much is because they don't really believe in their product. Now, are you going to base your entire pricing model on what someone else believes that they are worth? Think about that. You're going to base your entire pricing model on what someone else believes that their product is worth. Now, people don't want you to start charging more. Our industry is notoriously bad for this. As soon as you start to put your head above the parapet and say, nope, we're charging 10 grand for a website, 20 grand for a marketing funnel, 20 grand a month for a marketing funnel and marketing services, people start to go, well, I'm not charging that much, so you must be a ripoff. I'm not charging that much, so you shouldn't charge that much. What the hell's it got to do with you? What the hell's it got to do with anybody else? It's got nothing to do with your competition. And we'll often hear back, and I've heard this, and they'll say, there's no way you can charge that much. I've been doing this for 25 years and I've never charged more than £1,000 for one of my projects. And I'm like, what's that got to do with me? What on earth has that got to do with me? I'm not telling you to charge that much. I'll charge as much as I want. And they'll frame it as you being immoral. They'll frame it as them saying, well, that's a bit cheeky, isn't it? You're asking for that much. And the truth is, actually, the only reason they're doing that is because they don't want you to charge any more, because they know that they could be charging more. The reason they don't is because they don't believe in their product. Never once has Coca-Cola got advice from Pepsi on pricing. Coca-Cola dictates the price of their market, no one else. Often people will say, look, this is too expensive. And it's funny, whenever we say, oh, we've got a really good product idea, and our friends go, that sounds amazing, I'd love that, I'd buy that. What you should do straight away is go, okay, cool, well, I've got some in the trunk of my car, why don't we buy it now? I guarantee you none of them will ever commit. And it's the exact same in the opposite direction. When people say, oh, that's too expensive, my mum still says to me now, she can't believe that our sites are like 25 grand a piece. She can't believe that. She's like, how can you charge that much money? And I'm like, but I do. This isn't a case of me thinking I'm going to do it. We do charge that much money for a site. We do charge that much money. People have got to everyone's an expert on pricing. Everyone's an expert on money. Everyone's an expert on value and marketing. And they go, oh, that sounds like quite a lot. I wouldn't pay that much. No, I'm not expecting you to. I'm not expecting you to. I'm expecting a very specific niche of people to spend this much money, and it's really important that you know and you're comfortable in yourself who's going to do that. Don't listen to other people when they say it's too expensive. Don't listen to anyone when they say it's too expensive. Find people who are willing to pay that much money, and find people who understand the value that you're offering. Maybe you need to work on your offering, and maybe you need to work at your the value that you're apparently giving out, but don't take anyone's advice when they tell you it's too expensive, particularly when they've got no vested interest in it whatsoever. One of the other points is that a lot of people say, well, I'm not good enough yet. I'm going to get a bit of experience under my belt and then increase your prices. I've been doing this maybe 6 years now. Not once has any one of my customers ever told me to increase my price. Never. None of my customers ever turned around to me and said, do you know what, Mike? I really think you should charge a bit more for this. Never. Okay, no one's going to do that. Only you can decide whether you want to charge more. And we say, oh well, there's better designers and developers and copywriters and marketers and stuff out there than me. Well, I'm going to put my hands up, and you can say that you're a better developer, designer, marketing funnel architect, marketer, copywriter, content creator than me. You can say you're better than Mike Killen. So that's at least one person who you know you're better than, okay? But the reality is actually it's got nothing to do with that whatsoever. Your skill level and how good you are has got absolutely nothing to do with your pricing. It's how confident you are in delivering results. If you have a process that delivers results and gets other people, then that's what you should be charging. You should be charging for the results that you get and for the value that you give. Do not fall into the trap of thinking, oh, well, I'll increase my prices when I get better. It doesn't happen. It literally doesn't happen. It doesn't work, right? It's not like an XP bar that you fill up in a video game and like all of a sudden like sparks start shooting out and you twirl around and it says level up, you can now charge this much. It doesn't work like that. Something else that people often say to me is like, I need to build my portfolio first. Why? Why do you need to do that? Here's why we think we have to build our portfolio first. We go to a lead and we say, hey, we want to build you a marketing funnel, we'll do all this other kind of stuff. And they go, okay, well, who else have you done this for? You go, right, they go, look, show me a portfolio. And you go, but what they actually are asking for is, prove to me that I'm going to get something out of this. All this is they don't trust you enough. That's all that is. They don't trust you enough. A portfolio is a way of you demonstrating trust and reliability. If you've got absolutely no previous customers, you've got nothing under your belt at all. First of all, you probably have, you're just not thinking hard enough, right? You probably have, you're just not thinking hard enough. Everyone else can find previous work experience when they do their CV. I had work experience at the age of 14 on my CV. I found work experience from somewhere. You've got portfolio work. Secondly, don't waste your time creating fake portfolio sites and stuff like this. If you've got to do it, fine, build a couple, but honestly that's not really going to twist it. What is going to twist it is you taking that time where you should be working with customers and building portfolio work and pumping out awesome, helpful, useful content. Here's the interesting part. Since we started producing more content than any of our competitors, and I mean videos, webinars, blog posts, social posts, live recordings, live trainings, these kind of videos, no one's asked to see our portfolio because we produce content that's authoritative, it's regular, they can see who we are. That's what's important to people. They want to see that. That's the trust they want to see. They don't want to see portfolio sites. They want to see how you're talking about other businesses, how you're talking about businesses in their industry, and whether you are verticalized or in a niche enough to be able to understand what their specific needs are. Don't worry about building up your portfolio. So how much do you charge for a marketing funnel? Well, we've actually got something there. I would say, what will you give? Don't think about how much did you charge. Think about what would you give for 25 grand. If I put 25 grand into your account tomorrow, what are you going to give me? What am I going to get for 25 grand? We have also got some free training out there, which I'll put the link to below, which is how much to charge for a marketing funnel, to how to mark up, how to write up your prices so that they're profitable and proposals are always on top. I've also got an email down below that's basically going to help you increase your prices. I'll give you the link to that. No opt-ins, that's just available, just free. Look, I know this is scary. I totally understand how you feel. Everyone has this feel, and you have the fear of rejection when you increase your price, which you should be doing, which, like I said, you can get the email to that down below. You are, you've already taken on a marketing funnel expert. You've taken on me, all right? If I'm available, I'm in your network and you follow me or you comment on this, you've taken on a marketing funnel expert. Say that we're building it, visualize me and my team building your funnels as a part of that consultation process. That's how you can define and demand those high prices. Look, thanks very much, guys. Like I said, the free opt-in free email is below on how to increase your prices. And I'll put the link to the training video below for how much to charge for a marketing funnel. It's kind of the 6-step process, and how to turn the objection when customers say, oh, that sounds too much. We've got free training for that down below. Thanks very much. I'll see you later.